everyone to another episode of Study with Ash. Today we are continuing our biochemistry series and we're going to start with DNA repair. We're going to cover this quickly because this is a very easy topic that is often tested on step 1. So we're going to go over mainly the clinical aspects, but I will be also briefly describing each of the DNA repair mechanism. So for the double strand DNA repair mechanism, we have two types of DNA repair mechanisms, including the non-homologous end joining as well as the homologous recombination. So when we're discussing non-homologous end joining, so what it does is that this is the DNA. So there is a defect here. So what happens is there is a double strand break like this, like they have described over here. So there's a double strand break. This means that the entire double strand structure of DNA here breaks and there is non-homologous end joining. So they join it like this. So they seal the break by joining the non-homologous ends. So what happens is the part that we removed from here, this part and this part that was removed from here, that part of DNA is lost in this process. So the part of DNA may be lost or translocated in this process. So the next one is the homologous recombination. So this is a better process in a way that this double strand break is the same, but what happens is our body mechanisms brings together two homologous DNA similar to this one, and it takes out the particular part from here and put it here, and a particular part from here and put it here. This leads to homologous recombination and there is no loss of DNA, no loss of nucleotides. So what happens is that it requires two homologous DNA duplexes, and the strand of damaged dsDNA is repaired using a complementary strand. So this particular homologous recombination, they ask where is this defective and where it is used, where this DNA repair mechanism is used. So this DNA repair mechanism is specifically used in the BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes and among many other genes, and this is defective in cases where the people have BRCA1 and BRCA2 mutations for people suffering from breast cancer or ovarian cancer. So if you have a BRCA1 or BRCA2 mutation as well as certain type of Fanconi anemia, you would expect to have a defective homologous recombination mechanism. So next up we have three mechanisms that cover the single strand repair. So the first single strand repair is the nucleotide excision repair. As the name suggests, it excises the nucleotide by use of specific endonucleases over here. The endonucleases remove the damaged segment, and what it does is that DNA polymerase and ligase fills and reseals the gap respectively. So it repairs the bulky helix distorting lesions such as pyrimidine dimers. So you can see this entire segment has an error. It has this pyrimidine dimer in between, and what it does is that this part is removed by the endonuclease, a DNA polymerase acts upon it, and we have a newly replaced segment all ready for your body. So what beautiful mechanism is this? So this is the nucleotide excision repair. So with nucleotide excision repair, as I've taught you using the pyrimidine dimer example, you need to know that this is defective in xeroderma pigmentosa, where the body is unable to repair the DNA pyrimidine dimers caused by UV exposure. So this presents with dry skin, photosensitivity, and skin cancer. So people with xeroderma pigmentosa are at an increased risk of skin cancer. So the next mechanism is base excision repair, that the base specific glycolidases remove the altered base and create a apurinic or apyrimidic site. So over here the entire segment was removed from over here, but this removes a specific nucleotide, a specific base, and it creates a apurinic or apyrimidic site. The apurinic endonuclease cleaves the 5' end like from here, and what it does is similarly that DNA polymerase fills the gap and DNA ligase seals it. So if you want to remember the mechanism, so what happens is you use glycosylase Yes, glycosylase. Then you use the endonuclease, and then you use the lyase. So basically, you have to remove a particular base, right? When you have to remove a base, you need to remove that base using the glycosylase. Think of it as glycosylase. So you remove the altered base. Then you have a 5' end, then you have a 3' end. So you need one enzyme for the 5' end and the other enzyme for the 3' end. You remember the DNA replication occurs in 5' to 3' direction, right? So first what you do is that you use the endonuclease that cleaves the 5' side, and then you cleave the 3' side using lyase. The mnemonic for this is gel, please. Right? So you use gel, glycosylase, endonuclease, and lyase, and then you use polymerase as well as ligase to seal the gap. So I hope this helps. Then we have mismatch repair. So mismatch repair, what it does is that the mismatched nucleotides are removed and the gap is filled and resealed. So this particularly helps. You can see this is the mismatch segment. So for example, you have guanine instead of thymine over here, but what you want here is thymine. So what you do is that you remove the mismatch segment and replace it with the thymine that is required. So this mismatch repair is very, very important, and it is clinically implicated in the pathogenesis of Lynch syndrome, which is hereditary non-polyposis colorectal cancer. And this particular mismatch repair occurs in S phase. The base excision repair occurs throughout cell cycle, whereas the nucleotide excision repair occurs in the G1 phase of the cell cycle. So G1 is nucleotide excision. Throughout the cell cycle, there is the base excision. I have drawn this to show the entire cell cycle, and this is particularly during the S phase. So here's how it makes sense. So you think of G1 phase, think that you excise the nucleotide and repair it. This is a repair phase of the cycle. Then you use the base excision repair throughout the cell cycle, because this is a long process. Think of it that 3 enzymes are being used, so this continues throughout the cycle. Then mismatch repair, you think that a particular nucleotide or a particular mismatched nucleotide is there, so you have to remove it immediately as the DNA is synthesized. So this occurs during S phase. I hope this video is helpful. Just to revise, for double strand DNA repair, you use non-homologous end joining and homologous recombination. For single strand repair, you use nucleotide excision repair, mismatch repair, and base excision repair. Nucleotide excision repair occurs during G1 phase. Base excision repair occurs throughout the cell cycle, whereas the third one, which is the mismatch repair, occurs during S phase. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment.